So if you want to rank for products, put the keyword in the image. It's kind of hard to write it in the white part, but you can use that real estate on the packaging. Now, as long as you're helping the customer and you're not making weird claims, especially health claims and things of that nature, you can generally get away with things like adding that there. No one's going to complain like it didn't come with 2 heads of garlic. People understand that part. So you want to have something that's going to help customers make the decision, remind them what it is they're buying, showcase your product in a good light. Because if you think about it, if you're Amazon, you don't really care whether Cuisinart, a big name brand, or Joseph, Garlic Rocker, or KitchenAid, looking at some of these more big names, KitchenAid and Cuisinart, or, Zulay, which is become a good name. Now they've got a really good image there, I would say. But looking at this, as we all know, it's not just the garlic presses that are on page 1. It's probably thousands of garlic presses that are available. There's only so many people that come into Amazon and type in garlic press. Amazon wants to show the garlic presses that are more likely to turn into sales. And you don't get the sale unless people click. A lot of times we think about what's on the listing itself. So let's say this one here. So you're looking at the listing. This is the listing. This looks like a very well optimized listing. But what you're looking for is this is such a major decision here. If you don't decide, yes, I'm going to click on this garlic press, you'll never buy it. Think of all these snap decisions. There's however many products that are on page 1. So if you say to yourself, I'm going to click on this one instead, you're more likely to buy this one, and you're not going to buy the one that you passed up because there's all those other ones you chose not to click on. That is why that click is so important. And the main image is the number one driver to get people to click. Question, what if competitors are priced like $10 to $15 USD and my product is $20 to $25? All right, so this is a great question. You are just like me with many of my products. And I have come to tell you at a certain point, you got to look at things 2 ways. One, some of those products are doing $10 to $15 are going to get higher sales. But you got to think about it from the standpoint of for every, let's say, $1,000 you invest in inventory, how many dollars are you getting back the back end? So they might sell inventory faster, but their cash flow is going to be stunted by that. I would imagine most of these competitors are either Chinese sellers who may or may not be subsidized by their government. We don't know that, but I've heard stories of that. So that might be happening. You don't want to play their game. And then you probably have some US sellers, and those are probably people that are just trying to liquidate, or maybe they're launching and they're going to get to a higher price eventually. If your product is $20 to $25, ask yourself, if you're getting good sales and you already have some reviews, maybe you don't care. You just understand you're going to get fewer sales, but maybe you actually end up with more money. Maybe they do 300 sales in the same time period, you do 100 sales. But maybe because they're half the price, keep in mind, there's still the cost of goods sold is pretty much set. So even if their cost of goods sold is half the price of yours because they're the direct factory, there's still the cost of the good. There's still the cost to get it into the US. There's still the cost to get it into Amazon. There's still the cost of fulfillment. So a lot of those, they're not really getting much of a break on it from you, maybe just the cost of the actual manufacturing they might save on. Or maybe even if they're not the factory or they're just a US seller, they're not a Chinese seller, maybe they have the ability to get better pricing from volume or something like that. But their FBA fee is probably the same as yours if it's a similar product. Maybe they have it a little more compact or something. So is there something you could do there to shave off some costs? And they're still paying 15% of whatever their selling price is. Then their PPC costs and whatnot. And so I would imagine they might have lower PPC costs per unit sold, but on an ACoS percentage, it might not be that better. So let's just say hypothetically, after all said and done, they're making $2 a unit and you're making $8 a unit. Let's just say hypothetically, they're doing 300 units and you're in the same time period, whatever time period that is, a week, a month, a day, whatever. They sell 300 units, they net that's $600. You sell 100 units, you net $8 per unit, you made $800. So you made $800, they made $600, and you have less inventory to turn around and buy later because you're only replacing 100 units, they're gonna have to replace those 300 units. Does that make sense? So sometimes it's not worth playing the game of who has the highest BSR, because the last I checked, I just paid my mortgage the other day. They did not ask me about my BSR. They said, we want cold hard cash. I deposited a check into the bank. It was in US dollars. It was not in bestseller ranking. It was not, how many units a month were sold. They care about dollars. And so think of it that way. You care about the bottom line profit, and that's really all that matters. So if you have competition that's selling at $10, $15, just do a better job communicating why your product is better. Do comparison charts. So if it's a volume product, meaning like, X number of fluid ounces and theirs is a smaller, showcase that you get more per whatever. If there's something where you can show value there, or if it's quality, try to do the best you can by showing quality in your secondary images and in your bullet points. Although, let's be honest, most of us, myself included, don't really read the bullet points. Now, I say that my wife analyzes the reviews and the bullet points. Like, she goes through very detailed. I'm more of a skimmer. So make sure that both your skimmers and your readers, analyzers are able to get the information they need to prove why your product should be a higher price.
Amazon problems? No worries. That's what we, My Amazon Guy, are here for. Scan the code or click the link and let's make your store a success.